Well, hello, hello. This is Cindy, your host at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Make sure that you follow me definitely on YouTube and subscribe. Go to Facebook, go to TikTok and Instagram. And a really quick shout out here. Make sure that you go to Ask Cindy Connector Live to comment. And for both of the platforms to marry, you want to make sure that you go to streamyard.com/Facebook and we can post your comments. So a little plug today for National Day calendar. It is Bagel and Lox Day, Pizza Day. Now, this reminds me of the Eat, Pray, Love party that Sonia with the Corks and Canvas OC and I are actually doing at the house where we're doing all the food on the Eat, Pray, Love movie. So you got to definitely stay tuned for that. And it's Toothache Day. Make sure that you go to National Day calendar. You're going to follow them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, and definitely bookmark nationaldaycalendar.com. I actually am an ambassador with National Day Calendar, and what I love about National Day Calendar, it gives me reasons to send even more gifts throughout the year. So a little about me. My name is Cindy Lee. I am the founder of Ask Cindy Connector Live. About 10 years ago, one of my friends started calling me Ask Cindy Connector because I was passing referrals between our friends. And 3 years ago, I started the Ask Cindy Connector Live Facebook page where I would share what my friends were doing. If they had events, like for instance, we have a friend that does an event every couple months. So I'm always sharing that here. And then a little over 2 months ago, I became live here with StreamYard. So we are live here on with StreamYard on Facebook and YouTube. And I have my friend Avi. He is in Beverly Hills. He's going to tell us all about his business. But first of all, tell us your story.
Hi, everyone. My story started a long time ago, but already 32 years ago. I got introduced to printing through my brother, that he have another printing shop in Santa Monica. And I opened it in 1988, November of 1988. Yeah, a long time ago. I'm in the same place for 32 years, and I specialize in, copies. What I do postcard, I do mailing to customer. I work with people from A to Z. I even can design their postcard if they need to, or their flyer. Right now, because of COVID-19, I my business changed a little bit because a lot of people are not don't advertise. So I got into a new thing, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but I print on face mask, and this is something that the new business card. It's the new way of introducing yourself without giving a card to somebody, because nobody's touching anything. Nobody's going to take a card from you because people are afraid of the COVID. So what I do, I walk with it to different places, and I introduce myself, and people are getting my information, and they call me, and I got business out of it. So that's what I tell right now. When I promote my business, I promote it through face mask. That's about it. Thanks.
So let's talk a little bit about the weekend business seminar that we went to, Networking Riches, with Mr. Casey Everhart.
Yes.
He's been on my show several times. So tell us a little takeaway of what you learned about networking, especially networking through Zoom, because Zoom is the new living room, right?
Yeah. Well, networking, I used to do about 4 a week. I used to go to different events every day. And right now, because of the COVID, we start to do the Zoom. And in the beginning, it was not easy because suddenly you don't have the personal connection with people, and you need to learn how to communicate through Zoom. So a few things that I learned from Casey this weekend. Of course, it's how to take care of, how to look, that, you cannot just come with your pajama pretty much. And some people do, and it's not right. And I learned that when you leave your chair, always turn off your camera for two reasons. One, because, if something behind that you're not supposed to people are not going to see it. And second, out of respect to the other people, that if you're leaving, you don't, they don't see an empty chair. This is two. What else I learned from it? It's how you supposed to look. If a female to take care of her hair and not to have a wild hair day, and always listen. That's what the biggest thing that I learned from Casey, and I'm doing it anyway. It's to listen whoever talking with you. It's so easy to be like, I'm so excited, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing, instead of like, lay back, sit down, and just listen. And really, when you're listening to the person, think about who you're going to connect. When you are sitting like this and listening to somebody, you can listen like, oh, I'm not going to use him or her, or I know somebody who I can connect. And that's what I've been doing for almost 25 years. I connect people. Like Cindy, that's what we are. There are some people who are thinking about all the time other people. And I think Cindy are number one, because I met her about maybe a month ago. And since then, we became very good friends and good connection. And so whenever we need something, or whenever we are thinking about the other person, we know how, if I want something, for example, whatever Cindy doing, she's doing the mailer. If I'm gonna hear about somebody, I'm gonna send her way, and vice versa. If she's gonna hear about printing, she will think about me. And that's what is networking through Zoom. And I suggest that when you are sitting on a chair, listen how to refer. Thank you.
My biggest thing, I mean, this happened when we first met. When we network with someone, whether it be StreamYard, I love using StreamYard, as you know, or Zoom, at the end of the call, just either take a snapshot, or you can do a screenshot from your computer, whether if you have a personal computer or Apple product, and you could actually do a screenshot of our little conversation. And like, I like using StreamYard because I could add the person's information at the bottom of our little faces. There's the information for people to connect. So I think that's a really good way to network. And number one, as you know, when I do the Casey Everhart event, throughout the day, I am plugging different people in the chat so people can get to know them. If they're a speaker, maybe they don't have time, like they're getting interviewed with the spotlight, the hot seat segment. If I met them in a breakout room, I'll say, hey, you really need to get to know Abby. Here's his information. Check him out on Facebook. Here's his phone number. Connect, build rapport with him, and start becoming his power partner. Because that's how we grow. We grow by a so-called, our power partners are almost like our sales team. They know, like, and trust. And like Casey always says, know, like, trust, and remember. So know, like, trust is so important, but the key is for people to remember us.
Very important. Another thing that when it comes to networking, that I try to remind everyone, when you're talking with somebody, don't look at them as your customer. Look at them as your referrals. So when you are talking to somebody, you don't have the stress or like, oh, I need to sell it. You don't. You just communicate. And then you just tell them, if you know of someone who can use my services, send them my way. And you will see that they are more acceptable, and they're going to be like, oh, I know somebody. Yes, it's a very important thing that I learned through 25 years, that always don't target your person that you talk with as your customer, because then they put the wall and they're like, oh, you're trying to sell me. Not. If you know someone, it's very important that to say, if you know someone, this is a wonderful way to start a conversation, because then they don't feel like threatened, like, oh, I need to give him business. We don't. Eventually, you always get business. I got about maybe half a year ago, I got a job from somebody, and I always ask people, well, how do you get to me? And she said, Avi, I met you 6 years ago in a networking group, and I kept your business card.
Wow, that's very odd to keep a business card.
That very because you know what? I always when I talk with people, I never tell them, I'm not trying to sell. The sell it's how you are talking with people, how they're feeling comfortable around you. And that's what I've been doing for 25 years. And I love it.
I'm going to type right here really quickly. So one of the things I like to say is people may buy because of our product. Yeah, if we have a great product, like the product that I have a digital business card, I have a travel business, and then I have this gratitude platform to send cards and gifts. Really great gifts, really great vacations. But people buy because of the person. Even though they have a great product, they're going to buy because of the relationship they have with the person. So say you never bought a card from me, you never became a customer, you never booked a trip from me, but you have a know, like, and trust relationship with me. Based on that, you will refer your friends, even though you may not ever use my product. But once you have that rapport built with that person, you would refer all day long.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's about, connection, personal connection. We are small businesses, and the way to make a living or to build a relationship is like this. You are not. I tell everyone, I can do and sell anything because it's come from here. Come from the heart. You can sell anything you want, and people will be love to give you business, love to give you money. I have people that I'm working with for a long time, not because what they are doing, it's who they are. And it's very important when you are network, it's to be personal and not to be like, oh, I'm selling. Be personal. Learn who they are. Listen. Listen, most important thing. That's what I do all the time.
Well, it's how you make the person feel. I mean, I'll go through my Angela quote real quick.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite here.
Mm-hmm.
So I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget
How you felt.
how they make them feel. It's
Yeah.
so crucial.
Yeah. It's very important.
It is.
And I think that we should talk about it's the follow-up. We just talked earlier about to follow up with people. When somebody said, please call me, your job is to call them. They are very sincere when they are saying that. They are not pushing you away. They just, and I learned this 25 years ago. When you are meeting somebody and they say to call you, sometimes they're getting busy in their life. And they forget about you, unfortunately, because they are busy in their life. When somebody tells you, I want to give you money, pick up the phone and call them. Because this is the follow-up. It's the hardest thing that a lot of people don't do. You meet a lot of people. Great. What you do with all the business card? Then, right now, it's all the connection, all the emails that you are connected with, phone numbers. What you do with all this stuff? And this is something that Cindy are very good at that. I'm working on that. But, if you really want to get the best result from Zoom meeting, from networking event, from anything, follow up. You know what? Remind people that you are thinking about them. Remind them that you are, in their circle. That's what it's all about. It's like always keep in touch with people that you meet on Zoom and follow up. And don't talk about them. When I used to meet people, again, before COVID, I used to get all the business card, all the new business card, and I used to put all the emails together, and I used to write each individual email when I met them, and nothing about what I sell. Because you hear somebody who's like, oh, how are you? It was nice meeting you. If you know somebody who wants to buy a house or sell a house, think of me. This is a sell email.
Well, there's nothing wrong with switching it up. Yeah. So I, for my various companies, like I'll send like say for instance for travel, I'll send different gifts throughout the year, and one will say when you're ready to book your next vacation, everything's open, things are starting to open up.
Yeah.
Think of me, and then another month will be their birthday or their anniversary, or like I do a popcorn campaign where, hey, this is Cindy, I'm just popping in to say hi. Nothing about any kind of
That's
vacation.
a nice one.
But there's nothing wrong with talking about your business, but not every single mailing. That's
Right.
I think really crucial.
Yeah, because I'm really trying to learn about who are the referrals, who they need. And I always ask people, who's your biggest customer?
Mhm.
So when you hear who's your biggest customer, you already know how to refer business that had connected with this industry. And I send a lot of referrals. I'm like what is the 311 or 411? People are calling me and they ask me for you know, whatever it is. I have the person. I do have the person. So again, when it comes to Zoom, follow up.
Do you
Follow
have
up.
the Zoom card that I sent you?
Of course I do.
All right.
The one that you gave me, you mailed it to me.
Yeah. Do you have that with you?
Yeah, I have it. Hold on 1 second. Can you wait 1 second?
Oh, I
I'm
have a copy here. I could show everybody the copy. Similar. So this is what I really like sending when I meet somebody on Zoom or even on StreamYard, which is very similar. And this actually was sent to me from a realtor in Las Vegas. I actually helped her with some tips on some different gifts to send, and then the back. And so, what's really important is putting the name on the front, putting the name on the inside, and the back.
beautiful. By the
Yes.
way, you know where I put it? I put it on the wall next to me because I can read this and I can smile every time I read it.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't put it anywhere. I just put it next to me. It's open up and I'm reading it. That's what it's all about. I mean, like connection and building up trust and building up relationship. So I hope that whatever I said gave you some ideas, and I hope that we're gonna see each other on the Zoom.
And the beach.
Yeah,
So you're coming to Huntington, or am I going
you're
to?
coming. You're coming to Venice because you know what? It's beautiful over here. I every weekend. This is like my place to rest. It's not resting because I'm playing, but for me, it's like just to recharge my body, my mind. That you
So
have to.
you're making the most of that dash.
You have to because you know what? You you cannot just be at home all the time, and you cannot just be inside four walls. I mean, like we need the energy, we need the vitamin D,
Mhm.
and we need the connection. And for me to be outside and just to be around people, it's so important.
So I have 1 minute left on the broadcast. What tip do you give, or would you give, for someone who just met somebody for the very first time?
Like I said, follow up. If it's a phone number, if it's an email, ask them to have a Zoom one-on-one. Because we don't do like the coffee thing that we used to do or lunch. Do Zoom one-on-one. You're gonna learn so much from the person by zooming with them, and it's better than just a phone calls because phone calls you don't see, you don't have the energy. And after you talk with them, always ask them, who's your best customer? Because this is how you know how to refer them business. And you know what? Educate them about what you do, and you know what? Tell them like, okay, that's what I'm looking for. This is my referrals, and always smile. It's a free things that people don't appreciate it. Smile. because you know what's free.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then one of the things that I talk about in a one-on-one, so it's great getting to know somebody, but it's also great getting to know what they like to do for fun. Because it's just not always about business. Get off the computer, paint the town red. When more opens up here in LA and Orange County, definitely paint the town red. I actually did that with my friend Elizabeth and my friend Sonia from Corks and Canvas. We actually went out for a couple hours last night, celebrated Elizabeth's birthday. So it's so important to create those friendships off the computer, off the phone, and just enjoy nice chat and nice meal just for
But
a couple
this one,
hours.
that's beautiful. But sometimes our people are like so like focused about work that I'm letting them lead, and I want to see how far I can. Cindy, with you it was really easy because your
Aw,
personality are all bubbly and everything and happy. Some people are very businesslike. So that's the reason that I said, when you are on a Zoom, maybe you have a chance to really connect with them in a lot more personal level. And believe me, like you are, it's all about personal connection.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I appreciate you coming on. I'm actually going to put you in the green room. I'll see you there in 1 minute, and I'm going to close out this call. Okay.
Sounds like a winner.
Awesome. Well, there you go, guys. It's so important to create those relationships, get to know your connections, your Facebook friends, people you meet on Zoom, any other business owners that you meet through referrals. Connect, connect, connect. Be the connector. And even like once everything opens up and we're back to the belly to belly, the face to face networking, when you're in that room, try to find 2 to 3 people to connect in that room. Or when you're in the Zoom, go into the chat and chat about people that you've met with. Give their phone number. It's so, so important to be the connector, and never forget that. This is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live. And next on the show, I have my friend Stephanie. We're talking a little bit more about mailbox power. We're talking more about networking, some great nuggets from her, and definitely about the LFI digital business card. This is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live. And make sure that you go to YouTube and subscribe. We'll see you here on the next call.